Yo, 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 yo.
What's up?
What's going on, brother?
I'm good. What about you?
What's good? What's good?
I'm good. What about you? Not so good.
No, I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good today. I actually have money for this dip for once. That's the big difference between this dip and the last dips is I have money for one time. I actually have it ready.
Good. Now you can buy the dip. Hopefully it doesn't dip more, but yes, I think it's pretty good time to buy right now.
Right.
But
yeah.
I'll just stick to my plan and basically we'll do it in the first week, in the end of the first week of the next month. So
right.
Let's see.
Yeah, I do like a couple little $20 bills in there today.
Mm-hmm.
Some little things. I would like to do a little bit more, but I'm like kind of waiting to see. It looks like it's kind of like finding support right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm kind of waiting to see if it goes any lower. But
Mm-hmm.
before it starts moving really quick back up, I'd like to get in a little bit more, though. You know what I'm saying?
So. I might because I'm not following crypto dollar cost average for crypto. So I don't know, let's see, I might buy some crypto before the first week of the next month. But stocks, I'll just keep buying in the first week. Let's see how it goes. Maybe it will be even worse. Maybe it will be better. Maybe I will not buy the dip. Maybe I'll buy in the lowest point possible. Who knows?
Right. You caught it good back in March, and in February it was crashing and people were buying the dip, but it kept dipping and you got on some pretty good spots then. So maybe a week from now is a better idea. Like I get paid. So in America, you probably don't know this, but if you work for the government, like as an educator, like I do,
yes,
and I worked for the Senate at one time. I don't know if you ever knew that, but here in my state, I worked for the Senate, so I've worked for the government twice, and through education and in politics, and you get paid once a month by the government. Normal jobs pay you every 2 weeks here, which I do have one of those jobs too. So I get paid every 2 weeks, and then I get paid once a month for teaching, and you get paid a month late. Yes. So you don't get your February money until the end of March. I don't know if you knew that or not. So anyways, I've been out teaching, but I still get one more paycheck coming at the end of May. And I haven't been in the classroom for a long time. So I'm hoping this dip continue to stay this way until at least till May 28th when the rest of it comes or whatever, you know. So next Friday, if we can hold on, I'll have even more. But I have a little bit of capital right now ready, but I'll have a lot of firepower next week. But we'll see. It might be back on the moon by then, you know.
Anything can happen, especially in crypto, because what in the morning today it was like 30%, minus 30% in the morning. Right now it's already like minus 20, minus 15%. So it basically got back some pretty decent double digits in just literally in the afternoon. So we'll see about the crypto. That's why basically I'm saying it's kind of maybe it's not that useless to do dollar cost average into crypto, because dollar cost average is always a good idea. But in crypto, because of such high volatility, it's not as maybe useful as doing dollar cost average with stocks. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'll
so
just
here's what I think. I think if you can do for crypto, I think DCA is better in bear market, and then lump sum better in bull. At the start of a bull, not the end of a bull.
We never know when bull market starts until it's already started.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to time that and know when it's gonna kick on the thrusters.
So basically, we'll just keep watching. Maybe once again, like I said, I'll buy maybe like another 250 or something like this for each crypto, or just some of the ones which I want the most. I really believe in Cardano for some reason more and more every single time I believe in Cardano. So maybe I'll buy at least Cardano to begin with. And then if it continues going down, I'll buy Ethereum. And the last one, I'll go Bitcoin. This is basically right now is the priority. First one is Cardano, Ethereum, and then Bitcoin.
I know. I got the prices up, and I'm waiting for Cardano to hit $1.50, and I'm gonna pounce more on it.
Cardano, like in the beginning of this week, Cardano was like $2 plus something. So basically, my initial 250 of Cardano was like 560. So
I know it was bad, wasn't it?
And now almost back to reality, basically.
Yeah, no. It was sick though. Mine, I had it. I know you saw on Exodus too. Mine was like a little sliver, and then it started just like ding, 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 like took over like Bitcoin side. And it was like all big. It took over Ethereum.
Yes. I know. So crypto is fun. Crypto is what makes it, I guess, interesting to invest. But still, investing in stocks is the classic way of investing. And what I was talking about in this, whenever I was making my invitation to Patreon meeting post, that today we'll talk about this crypto crash, if you want to call it crash or whatever it is, and then maybe what I'm planning to do with my portfolio. So yeah, obviously it's not Elon responsible for the whole crash, but I think he was one of the catalysts, how professionals call it. I don't know. I think this word becomes very overused, but it's okay. You get the idea. So yes, basically like I mentioned, he was making all these jokes and all this kind of stuff, pumping coins, all of them, because like it's not possible for this whole thing to be sustainable. Eventually people get used to good news so much, and then the valuation goes up and up and up, like triple digits in 1 month and all this kind of stuff. So of course, even one bad thing, because the more optimistic people, the more optimistic they are in a row, like they're optimistic 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month in a row, and then eventually they're becoming more and more scared, because you already made like 800% return and you want to cash out as soon as possible. And when you have like 5,000% return, like you want to cash out, you're thinking about this like every single minute basically. And of course, as soon as you see something bad, this is what you do immediately. Most of people at least will just cash out, like sell everything, and just that's it. And yes, basically Elon was like supporting all the cryptos, blah blah, this and this and that. Tesla bought Bitcoin, then sold 10% of it, and then he did this tweet about Bitcoin being dirty cryptocurrency, which is it might happen like this in the future, because right now Bitcoin, I don't know, last week I sent the chart that Bitcoin uses like 10% of this like bad energy, like financial system, banks are using more. Like, so basically Bitcoin is not as bad as Elon thinks maybe it is, and definitely it's not as bad as people think what Elon think it is. So basically, it's not as bad. And also lots of Bitcoin miners. Obviously, I'm not mining Bitcoin and I don't have any friends or relatives or acquaintances who are doing this. So I cannot tell this from personal experience, but I've seen a lot of people saying that Bitcoin miners using more and more renewable energy, which is basically also makes sense because basically what is Bitcoin? This is you convert electricity into money, basically, in a very basic understanding. And of course, if you subtract costs of electricity and you just literally make money out of basically renewable energy, out of sun power, like basically, so it makes sense for Bitcoin miners to use renewable energy because it reduces their costs and increases profits for them, first of all. And this is what I've been hearing more and more, that people use this kind of renewable energy. So this tweet was very controversial and people definitely overreacted. But then, and Bitcoin is like, because this is the cryptocurrency, all the other currencies, they follow Bitcoin. So Bitcoin falls down deep, all the other cryptocurrencies most likely will follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up a lot, basically most major cryptocurrencies will do the same. And then today, if I'm not mistaken, or yesterday, I still have to post this news summary on my Patreon Instagram page. But if you've seen it, that China banned using Bitcoins or something like this. So I still need to read a little bit about this. But this is what I think made it even worse, because China restricted usage of Bitcoin or something like this. It did not restrict holding Bitcoins or buying them or selling them. But I think, I still haven't read the news, but I think what they restricted is like using it for some kind of transactions or anything like this. And so this China ban, basically, this is what was the main reason for the crypto market collapse, basically. Even though it's already getting back, and I'm sure like in the morning Bitcoin was as low as like $30,000. Now it's already back at $38,000. So it's kind of bouncing back. But basically, these are so many different reasons that made this crash possible and made all the people who buy the dip to have incredible discounts of 20-30% to basically buy the dip. So this is about this. So what about your crypto portfolio? What about your stocks portfolio? Any updates, any changes, anything interesting you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been acquiring some more of this Ethereum, Cardano, and Bitcoin. I have it just set up to buy small amounts like every weekend, on Saturday at midnight. I like to buy it. I like to buy it like on the worst, like when you can never buy a stock, because on stock you can buy Monday through Friday.
Yes.
But so like on crypto, I like to buy it on the weekends just because it's fun. And then I contribute. So I'm doing that like every Saturday, just $20 or so into each of them. And then I have my M1 portfolio going still. I think there's 33 holdings in it. I think I sent you that link last week with some of that. Some of the things might have changed around a little bit. I think I'm down on that one as of this morning. It was going good till today, but yeah, so I send like $60 to that on Monday, and then maybe like $60 in crypto on the weekend, and then every 2 weeks I do my big Roth contribution, and right there I'm doing like I'm buying REITs. That REIT one, did you ever check it out? The ones that you?
I've just briefly seen it, but didn't look at in depth, because right now I will talk about my portfolio rebalancing later, because basically that's what I'm focusing on right now. I just checked it briefly. So basically, yes, like you said, it's like ETF of ETFs and ETF for REITs. I mean, so like interesting.
I just wanted a little exposure. Like me and my wife wanted to buy a house, but they're just getting so crazy. I know you know about that up in Canada. It's notorious how bad your housing crisis is up in your country, even down here, and it's getting bad in America. And even in my little city, like where I'm from, which is not tons of people, it's a pretty small place. We're feeling the squeeze right now, just like the inflation of the houses. So anyways, we had hopes and dreams of buying a house, this year, and I don't think we're just going to. I think we're going to wait a little bit longer. Maybe let the market for real estate cool out a little bit. But I wanted to have some kind of real estate, so that's why I bought the REIT, because I was like, now I can feel like I own some real estate, even if it's not a house. I can drive by like a cell phone tower and they're like, hey, I probably own a piece of that, you know?
That's always what I think every time I see Caterpillar equipment on the road.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are my employees, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Well, man, I was in the gym. I was in the gym yesterday running on the treadmill, and I saw a commercial come up for, I think for like AutoZone, which is one of the companies that have like 1% in on M1, and then another one for Starbucks like after that. And I was like, there's all my picks up on screen just doing work. Like,
these are all my boys.
Go. So, anyways, yeah, I kind of have set up schedules like every Monday, put a couple bucks into M1. That's my single stock portfolio. On the weekends, put a little into crypto, just kind of for fun. And I like to stake. I really like staking with Cardano. I'm trying to get a couple more coins, and I think I have 350 right now, so I'm trying to get to like maybe 500. And then, yeah, right now in my Roth, I'm investing into the REIT, and then also after that, after I get a couple more shares of that or units or whatever, QQQM, which is like this cheaper version of QQQ. It has a lower expense ratio for like retail investors by like 5%, I think. And it's the same holdings as QQQ, the NASDAQ index, but it's instead of like, you know, $300-400 a share like the big QQQ is, it's like 130. So yeah, just kind of rounding out my Roth with some REITs and like index funds, basically. You know, S&P, NASDAQ, and some REITs going in there. Just kind of playing. So I play ETFs in my Roth, single stocks in M1, and then crypto. So that's kind of what I got going on. Probably for the next few months, unless my strategy changes on my Roth, I'll be buying REITs and then the NASDAQ, especially while it's crashing, trying to get in on that big heavy tech one while it's on discount.
So obviously markets are not extremely rational, and they never follow all the principles they're kind of supposed to follow. But basically, as a general rule, keep an eye for like interest rates. Basically, like everyone's talking about interest rates and everything, because technological companies, and all these companies that are relying heavily on debt capital, which are basically basically like technological companies, like I said, the ones which do not have maybe too much equity capital, but instead they always borrow money from the banks and stuff like this. So during periods of high interest rates, these companies usually tend to maybe underperform a little bit, because obviously you need to manage your debt, you need to make interest payments and all this kind of stuff. So during high interest rates, and borrowing is also obviously more expensive. So during high interest rates, logically, all these technological companies, NASDAQ companies, they tend to underperform. But whenever it's low interest rates, basically the opposite happens. So just something to keep an eye for.
Thank you.
So yeah, and now about portfolio rebalancing, very interesting stuff. So basically you've heard about a lot, maybe that commodities are going crazy, almost all of them, especially lumber, basically everything like steel and all this kind of stuff, platinum, palladium, stuff like this. So one of my most performing company right now, which even outperformed Caterpillar, and I think I talked about it last time, is Nucor, the one which is the biggest US steel manufacturer. Yeah. I am right now keeping track of steel prices, because companies like this, they also logically, the stock prices and the profitability of such companies, it heavily depends on the basically commodity prices which these companies mainly produce. So if steel goes up, prices for companies that produce steel also tend to go up, because people expect that they will have the same levels of production, but because basically steel prices go up, that's why they'll just produce the same, but they'll get more. So basically, I'm keeping steel prices because I think, yes, this is the only company in my portfolio which is commodities related, steel manufacturer. And right now, steel prices, they reached their peak, and now they're basically going down a little bit. And also New Core is not going down that much yet. It's like staying around the top and stuff like this. But still prices are basically definitely going down for the last week or so. So I'm thinking maybe somewhere in the middle of the week, maybe even like this Friday or anything like this, maybe next week, I will sell some of my New Core stock shares. Not all of it, because company is great, fundamentals, I love it, and I just want to have value companies in my portfolio no matter what. I will sell right now maybe New Core is like 6% of my portfolio, 7% of my portfolio, even though the targeted allocation is around 5%. So I will sell maybe like 2, 3, 4 shares of New Core. I will still have like 10, 12, something like this, I don't remember. And I'll just maybe use this like extra, like I don't know what, $400 to buy something what's even what can be better. So this is the first thing that I'm considering to do with my portfolio, because yes, if you open steel prices, you can see that they're going down, because yes, commodities market is basically overvalued right now, especially lumber. Lumber still goes up, even though all the other commodities go down already, more or less. Lumber still goes up. Like I think today it's only like, just today it's like up 4 or 5% or something like this, which is ridiculous. But anyways, this is the first thing that I'm considering to do with my portfolio. But second thing is way more important. If you heard about it, yesterday I published in my Instagram group that AT&T is planning to merge with MGM.
Right.
And this is the good news. But I don't know if you read the full news or if you read more about AT&T. They are planning to cut their dividends almost in half. This is something.
Yeah. So, and then I saw it tanked like 10% or something, right?
Like 4 or 5% or something like this, yes. But just basically so lots of people hold AT&T literally for dividends. Like
right.
I am,
so,
me including.
So they're merging with Discovery.
With
right?
With MGM, if I'm not mistaken, they're merging with MGM's part. MGM is basically like the group, like they have like their own departments, let's say so. And one of the department is like Warner something, like not Warner Brothers, but Warner something. And this part, it has one of its biggest assets, let's say so, is the Discovery basically network.
Warner Media.
Yes, something like this. And basically, yes, as a part of this merger, they will use lots of money coming from its merger to pay down its debt, which is yes, go on.
This is saying that Discovery shareholders would own 29% of the new company.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting too. 30%. So I have AT&T just recently put them in my M1 portfolio, which is very young and very new, but just because they are my internet provider right now, I pay them $50 a month for fiber internet. So yeah, what does this all mean? I mean, obviously it's not good for the dividend people because we're only in it for the dividend and it's half. So I assume that it's going to spell trouble for the stock. But what are you going to do? Are you going to stay in? Like go ahead and talk about some more. Because this is a little bit interesting because this is one of my holdings now. So I need to know what's going on here.
That's basically why I raised this topic. This is me trying to be right now Jeremy from Financial Education or all the other YouTubers who just basically talk about all the news to see how I can feel in this role eventually or something. So, okay, long story short, yes, AT&T, I am holding this basically as a company that pays dividends, which is right now like 6-7% dividend yield. And if I'm not mistaken, this is 4th largest dividend payer in terms of dividend yield in the US right now. So basically, and if I'm not mistaken, this is also a dividend aristocrat. If I'm not mistaken, I just don't want to pull up my watch list, but it must be.
Damn, yeah, so that's a big deal. So if they cut it, make it out of that list, right?
And as a part of being dividend aristocrat, it's not just paying dividends every single time, it's also increasing them every single time, which means that as soon as they decrease dividends, they leave the list. And yes, you, including me, including so many other people, including us, they have AT&T literally for dividend purposes, because I bought AT&T in May 2020. And since then, AT&T, basically total return of AT&T is like 1% or like 0%. So it didn't give me anything except 7% dividend yield. And so that's why I bought them, just for the dividends. And now when this company is going to basically cut its dividends literally in half, like there is almost no reason for me to hold them, because the company is heavily leveraged, even though they're going to use this money from the transaction to cover its debt obligations. It's still going to be pretty leveraged company. And the reason basically why they are reducing dividends is because they are putting so much of its cash flow towards paying dividends. Well, because they were dividend aristocrat company and all this kind of stuff, so they had to maintain its status. But now, because of the new company, because they need to put money into something else, into developing, into becoming better company from financial standpoint, they will not be able to continue paying as much dividends as before, because their payout ratios was like about 100% or something like this. Basically, that's one of the reasons why the debt was so high, because they were literally borrowing money from banks just to keep paying dividends. And that's why debt was growing and growing and growing and growing. And now they're like, okay, we need to advance as a company. We cannot just be dividend payer. We will keep dividends, but right now, but basically, yes, they're reducing dividends almost in half. I think they're supposed to cut dividends like by 40%, which means that 40% of 6% dividend yield, new dividend yield is going to be approximately like what, I don't know, like 3.5%, which is like still kind of good. But there are so many different companies with the same 3% dividend yield, which can be much better purchased than AT&T. And so, yes, I'm thinking right now, most likely I will wait until the first week of June, when I'm doing my portfolio rebalance, to completely sell all AT&T shares. And yesterday, I opened my watch list. Basically, it's not just for you helpful, it's for me as well helpful. So I am using my watch list. I opened my watch list and I saw sectors which are underrepresented. And I took sector communication services, obviously, which is AT&T from, and I basically quickly analyzed companies. And I have maybe approximately 15 companies right now, which can be as a potential replacement for AT&T. And I will be, for this couple of weeks until the first week of June, I will be analyzing these like 15 companies more in depth to find the replacement for AT&T. And my first criteria for these companies, besides having more or less decent fundamentals, is to have at least 2% dividend yield. 2-3% dividend, the more the better. And I have right now companies like obviously Pepsi, Coca-Cola, like I don't remember right now exactly which ones, but basically these are the companies like consumer cyclical, consumer defensive, communication services, and all this kind of stuff. So long story short, yes, most likely, unfortunately, even though I liked AT&T, it was not growing that much. It was never falling that much, but was always paying good chunk of dividends. Most likely, I will be replacing it next month.
It says it's down 14% on my M1 from the news, you know. So I guess if based on this news, you know, I'll probably keep them in my portfolio just because I'm doing an experiment of just companies I use and products and whatnot. But I do have dreams of like moving and switching internet providers, and if that happened, you know, AT&T would not be in there. But they're at 2% in my portfolio right now. I'll probably bump them down to 1. Bump up something else like based upon this news. So talking about the M1 and the rebalancing, that's a great idea for you. You know, coming up on your next purchase week here in a couple weeks. I think I'm going to try to rebalance my Roth a little bit at the 1 year anniversary, which is July 13th for me. It's like 2 more months. I'll probably rebalance my Roth. I hope some of those losses that are in there right now will be a little bit more green, and so I can do that. And then on my M1 portfolio, since it was so new and I was trying to stick to the theme of like companies and stuff I really use, and I was mad and salty, like you said, at Elon, his tweets and shit. So I took Tesla out of there. Put Tesla out of my M1 portfolio, and I put Facebook in there just because of Instagram. And so I took out Tesla and substituted in Facebook, and then I also I removed Berkshire Hathaway just because I'm not a user of their, as far as like a service, and I replaced it with it was a healthcare company in Canada that makes like my stuff for like eyes, like eyewear stuff that I use a lot. And so I'm always buying their eye drops and their contact stuff and whatnot. So I threw them in there as like a 1% and then put just the rest into Facebook for that. But it's BHC. Ever heard of them?
BHC is the name of this eyewear company, Canadian one that you're talking about.
Canadian healthcare.
Not sure, but basically I will open it right now.
Yeah, I mean, just I wanted like a little bit. I mean, obviously I'm more of a tech investor just because that's what I know, but throw a little healthcare in there, just a little 1% to help balance it out.
I opened it to take a look at it after we finish talking. I will look at them.
All right. Cool. So yeah, you're gonna rebalance here in a couple weeks.
Yes, first week of June, as always. Basically, I am buying using like same amount, basically as always, most likely of money. And yes, most likely I will replace AT&T with a new company, which is gonna find. Maybe it's gonna be Coca-Cola because it was pretty good yesterday. And it has dividend yield of like 3.5 or something like this %. So let's see, maybe I will use Coca-Cola, but like I said, I have like 10 different more companies to take a closer look at, and we'll see.
Sweet, man, sweet. Well, yeah, I think the main thing is just stay committed to your plan and have a strategy.
Yes, of course.
Be diligent and dedicated and all those things, and we'll get through these storms. It's definitely been choppy. I was over here, I was stoked that at least my crypto was doing good, and now it's not, but I don't care. It actually makes me a little bit more excited. I feel like a little bit more of a opportunity right now, and that kind of stuff.
Right now is very good opportunity. I wish things like this happen in the first week of months, because usually when things like this happen, and it's like middle of the month, it's like 1 week, 2 weeks after I bought. So let's see. I wish it will be the opposite, but let's see.
Hey, real quick.
Yes.
I'm looking at 2 things for my desk right now. Just little pieces, little decorative things. And I'm going to send you 2 of them. I have it narrowed down to these 2. And I was going to see which one you liked better. I was going to put it on my desk just to kind of remind me during the tough days why we doing what we do and to stay up. So check that out. So that's the first one I'm looking at.
Okay.
And then here's the second one I'm looking at. Which one do you like better?
Just second. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let me see. Okay, first one is bull. Well, what kind of color palette is approximately your desk? Because first one is more like dark brown and the second is more silver. So I would say I personally like first one more, because second one, it has all these rough shapes. It's like Minecraft kind of style.
Right.
But first one is like more kind of like sculpture and stuff like this. 5-7 inches. Let's see sizes. Size is more or less the same, looks like, yeah. So I would select first one.
Cool.
Because second, like I said, it has all these rough edges, like Minecraft style, like blocks and stuff like this.
And yeah, I like the price of the first one better too, because then it leaves more for investing.
Every dollar counts.
For sure.
I would select the first one, yes. And I'm also right now, basically, I'm in Canada with the plans to move back to Florida, as you know already. So right now, my office, not my YouTube studio, is very basic. But every single time I come across some cool looking studios or like cool looking, I always put them down my list, because right now I have 2 studios in my mind. So basically, whenever I'm finally settled, Florida, let's say, so yes, and I'll have my den or maybe even separate room for my YouTube studio. And I have right now 2 studios in my mind. First one is basically all these typical investing channels, like, like this, like Wall Street stuff, like, I don't know, like stocks, like all this kind of stuff. Like, yes, this like statues of bulls and bears. This is my first idea. And second idea is to make it like just super extremely Russian, like carpets on the wall, samovar, all this kind of stuff, like, I know, Adidas jackets and all this kind of stuff. So we'll think about, but I want to have very, very nice and cool looking studio once I'm settled. Because right now it's just basically my blanket. But yeah, first one, I would say, looks much better.
That's the one my wife likes better, so that's probably good taste on both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, hey, check out this though real quick too. I thought this was pretty funny. I don't know why it's so expensive, but it's pretty funny. This is about to be my investing strategy right here.
And by the way, since we're talking now about these decorations, I see this. HODL, short, long, put, call, sell, buy, liquidate.
That's about to be how I make my decisions. It's about as much effort as I'm about to be getting into
it. I've seen something similar, but it was like with this metal ball hanging from the, not from the ceiling, but it was metal ball hanging on the string on top of this stuff. And all these things are magnetic. And so you start swinging this metal ball, and eventually it gets attached to one of these like sections because of the magnet. But basically same idea. And so you were talking about these decorations, and I was just realized I have a very cool website. Unfortunately, they don't deliver to Canada, but they do deliver to US because this American website. And they sell all these Wall Street, how it's called, souvenirs. They sell like actual stocks, statues, and all this kind of stuff. Very cool website. I will give you the link right now.
Yeah. Send it on over.
Bull market. Gifts, and just look around. I've spent like 1 hour maybe looking on the website. It's so cool. This is the website when I'm gonna definitely be buying some of my decorations for my future studio eventually. They have all kinds of stuff, like even your bull head market. Like all.
I've looked at some of these, like that bull and that bear statue. That one was on Amazon too. That was like $130. I saw that one on there, and it looks cool for sure. It's a little bit more expensive than I wanted to spend, but wait, they do have the bullhead, the exact one I'm looking at though.
I know, and it has actual paper shares from the past, so something that you can put on the wall or something. So just look around the website; it's very nice.
They even have that Minecraft looking one that I can't use, but it's more bronze, not silver. It's cool. So they got all of them, man. This is the spot right here. This is the site.
Very nice.
Oh man, I want this one right so bad, but it's $160. Not gonna get that one, but it's sick. Oh yeah, this is cool. I like the one on the teeter-totter too. Bro, they have the bear bust. They have both of them, so you can get the set.
Yes.
Oh shit! I didn't know there was a bear one like that. That's cool. Yeah, so this is legit, man. I feel like this is just all the stuff I was seeing on Amazon, but even more. I want to look at the stock certificates too.
This has everything basically. They have like these souvenir books, like you can buy like books which are like old style type of books with like good covers and everything like this, like so very nice for like old style executive office decorations.
Oh yeah, these are sick.
So yeah, look around, see what you like. The website, cool. I have it in my notes for the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna bookmark it in my finance, my little finance tab. Jeez. All right, cool. All right, my friend. Well, good find, man. This is some cool stuff for sure.
So I just see this BHC Canadian cleaning that you sent me, yes? And I don't know if it's the same one or not, but it says Burnham Thorpe Health Center, and this is literally on my street.
What?
So I don't know, or maybe it's Better Health Clinic. I guess it's Better Health Clinic. Yeah, let me see BHC stock. So maybe it's not the same one. No, it's like Bausch Health Companies. I don't know.
Right.
Is it
Laval.
Bausch Health Companies? Is this one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. So it's not the same.
So Laval, Canada. That's outside of Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you in? You're in Toronto?
Yes.
Okay. So Montreal's up the road from you. You ever been up there yet?
Montreal, yeah, I've been like 4 hours drive.
Yeah, you been?
Yes.
That's
not
cool.
bad. Very nice.
Couple times or?
Just once for now. Was not able. This whole thing started, and we are in complete lockdown right now.
Oh yeah, so no travel going on still.
Not yet.
Man, you're kind of close to Detroit and Buffalo too.
Buffalo is like one and a half hour, and that's it.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool.
Detroit is like 4 hours, I think, approximately.
You ever been to that Ottawa?
Ottawa, yes. Ottawa, yes. I've been Quebec, Montreal. Okay. So basically everything in drivable distance, major cities, yes.
So do you like Montreal better than, was it Ottawa, or how do you say that?
I'm also not professional because so, but it says something like, yes, like you said, Ottawa, something like this.
Which one do you like better?
Montreal is like old European city. So like, I don't know if you've been in Europe, but it's like Austria, like Germany, maybe. It's like old European city.
Which one's that?
Montreal.
Okay.
Montreal and Quebec. These are like old European cities, but Ottawa, it's like capital city. Basically, it is capital of Canada. And it's like, like all these government buildings, like, and all this kind of stuff. Very nice as well still. And Toronto is like basically a business city. It's like basically a small New York.
Right. Okay. That's cool, man. That's cool. I need to go check out those other ones that are far east sometime that have that European feel. That sounds really fun.
Yeah. Anytime you coming here, let me know.
Don't forget about sure. As soon as y'all are out of lockdown, I would love to come up. No doubt.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, we'll get out of this as soon as possible because I haven't played hockey since September last year.
Damn, that's been what's the latest on that? Where are y'all at?
Still complete lockdown across the whole province. The whole Ontario is closed. Like literally, the only things that are open are like grocery stores and banks. Basically, that's it. No hairdressing, no barber shops. I mean, no nothing like this. So I'm not having haircuts since December already. So everything is completely closed. And the next step, it's like the red zone, basically, which is still everything is closed, but at least maybe barber shops will be opening and stuff like this. And hockey will only start once in the next orange zone. So we need to wait until at least 2 levels to decrease, let's say so, before we can play hockey, which means it's going to be at least 2 more months. So let's see.
Is it going down or up, or what's going on now?
Canada never had anything extreme. Canada was never on the news for the spikes and cases. We're just overprotective, overcautious and stuff like this. So I guess that's why we never had anything extreme. But that's why we're all still in complete lockdown, basically.
Right. And are they getting vaccines rolled out or not?
We are starting, and we have scheduled our vaccines this Friday. So,
there you go. Yeah.
So we will have our first one this Friday, and the next one will be in September.
Okay.
And basically, yes, like people start vaccinating, like our friends already start vaccinating, but still it's complete lockdown. So
I guess once they get probably more of the population, rolled out with that, they'll start easing, I'm sure,
I hope so.
I hope so too, man. I'm sure it's hard to watch us in America starting to get back to it.
America already, NHL games, you have all the people watching in the stadium. Canadian, whenever there's Canadian teams playing in Canada, stadium is completely closed, so no spectators at all.
There's definitely some dumb people here in America for sure. We did a horrible job at a lot of the response to the pandemic. I think the only thing we did well was get the vaccine rolled out as fast as possible, but before that we were doing pretty poorly, that's for sure. But I got an email today from one of the universities that says, we won't be wearing masks next semester and things. So that was pretty cool to read that email. We'll start having sports. Sports will be back on for university next year. So that's looking up, so I know we're kind of, getting back to it a little bit, getting back out there. I'm probably still going to wait before spending real money on travel. I don't think we're quite to that point, but at least here locally around my town, it's getting a lot better. They're starting to do concerts and things like that again. Yeah, I know it sucks. Like you did hear that, like we're doing music and things, but hang in there, brother. Hang in there.
Almost there, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I think by 2 or 3 months, like you said, you should be different scenario. So
I hope so.
Well, good.
Okay, yes.
It's a good time to sit in your room and make videos, though.
Of course, it's always good.
I mean, a lot of people are going to be on lockdown, and they get out of lockdown, they look at, and they didn't do nothing. So you're going to look back, and you're going to at least have a body of work that you're proud of, before you go back to busy life.
Oh, that's one of the good things, basically. Yes. So one last thing. So I don't know, whenever my YouTube thing takes off, I'm planning obviously to have some kind of podcasts eventually in the future. So I don't know if you're watching this Millennial Money and kind of stuff. Whenever they're like just doing podcasts basically from their own houses using webcams and stuff. So we might do something like this. I don't know if you want in the future. Will be cool, I think.
I would love to, and I've got a proper microphone that I can use as well.
Yes.
I have like quite a full setup out in I have kind of like a second studio outside, but hardly working in there because the internet is so crap, and I don't want to pay for 2 internet lines. It'll be like $100 instead of $50. So I'm hoping to get a new place, like a cool loft or something, so I can move in all my equipment from out here and have it all in one room and have better production and all my lights and microphones, so I can start doing some content with you, bro. Yes. And I'll look and sound as good as you do too. So
so that's the plan.
Yeah,
that's the plan. Awesome. No rush for now because I have yes.
What you should do though, I was gonna say, you got that 10,000 videos, 10,000 views. You need you should look into doing more videos on apps, just because I know that one was on Wealthsimple and it did really well for you. So I was like, maybe.
No, I know. I just want to finish with my straight to the point right now. Okay. That's the plan. I'm not in a rush, like I have all the time in the world basically for now doing videos. And I have maybe approximately, I don't know, like 2-3 months, maybe maximum 4 more months of straight to the point videos. I have like maybe 170 topics left, which is already like 20% or something like this left. And once I'm done with this, once I'm fully educated on everything there is to know, like all the ratios, all the like fancy words in finance world, this is when I will slowly start transitioning to classic videos. I will start with basic stuff, like I don't know, like 5 best books for investing. Like everyone is doing this video, but this will be my smooth, slow transition. And then eventually, yes, hopefully it will start to collect some audience. Some people will start watching me on a regular basis. And this is when I'll be start already making something like something not that standard, something not that cliche and stuff like this. Basically, that's the plan for now. I have like a couple of viral videos ideas. Hopefully they will be viral eventually. And then, yes, we see how it was. Very excited about my YouTube journey. Now it's almost the end of the first stage of it.
That's awesome, man. Good. It sounds like you got your roadmap set up. So stick to it.
Yes, I do. Okay, I guess.
Well, hey.
Okay.
Be greedy out there in the streets while everyone else is being fearful.
I know this.
There's blood out there, so go get you a piece of it, all right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, later, my friend.
Have a good day. Bye.
All right, later, Adam.
Bye.